You know the name Doug Poppa?
Yes, I do. God bless Doug Poppa, an honest cop.
I was elated, of course, but then as he testified, I was somewhat concerned for him, because I knew that they were probably going to crucify that man.
The top cop who put his badge on the line for justice.
One man who confronted truth and consequences.
I am Doug Poppa, and this is the Truth and Consequences podcast from Las Vegas, Nevada. From Las Vegas, Nevada, this is episode 81 for Wednesday, January 6th, 2022. The October 1st, 2017 Las Vegas Massacre was the worst mass shooting in modern American history and the largest homicide investigation in the history of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. As a result of gunman Stephen Paddock's carnage, the massacre ultimately resulted in the death of 60 Route 91 Harvest Music Festival attendees and the wounding by gunfire of hundreds of others. In 2021, 4 years after the Las Vegas Massacre, Clark County Sheriff Joe Lombardo, who runs the Las Vegas Metro Police Department and who is currently a candidate for Nevada governor, changed the official narrative on the death of Stephen Paddock. It was well established that Paddock shot himself almost immediately after he fired his last shots at 10:16 p.m. on October 1st, 2017. No Las Vegas Metro police officers ever approached Paddock's room prior to lone SWAT officer Levi Hancock and his ad hoc team of patrol officers breached Paddock's Mandalay Bay Hotel suite, room 32135, at 11:20 p.m., over 1 hour after Paddock fired his last shots. That was proven on police body camera footage that was subsequently released by court order after Lombardo's failed attempt to prevent the release of any documentation and video that was in the possession of his department. On November 8, 2021, an article appeared in the Carson City, Nevada newspaper, the Nevada Appeal, that was authored by reporter Ray Hagar of Nevada Newsmakers, that quoted Lombardo as saying during an interview on Friday, November 5th, 2021, that the shooter killed himself in his hotel room with the officers outside the door, with the officers trying to get in, Lombardo said. I firmly believe that him knowing we were at the door is the reason why he took his own life, Lombardo said. Ladies and gentlemen, Lombardo's statement is not true. Once again, Lombardo has perpetrated a lie to the press and to the public, apparently for his own personal and political agenda. Unless Sheriff Joe Lombardo, the highest law enforcement official in Clark County, Nevada, is withholding evidence from the public, Lombardo's statements are lies. If the Las Vegas Metro Police have concealed evidence from the public that proves Stephen Paddock shot himself as the entry team was at his door, then I, for one, want to see it. Folks, listen to what I'm saying here. SWAT officer Levi Hancock, who in my opinion did a great job that night with his ad hoc team, transmitted over the radio that they were going to breach the door to Paddock's suite to see if anything was still inside the room, if anyone was still inside the room, or if they went somewhere else. That is not only documented on the Police Communications Center audio recording, but also on police body camera footage by the patrol officers who were with Hancock. Why would Hancock make a statement that they did not know if anybody was still in the room if indeed they heard a shot when they were at the door? If you hear a shot from inside the room, then you would know somebody was indeed still inside the room, and that, folks, was not the case. Paddock is dead. We will never know why he stopped firing that night and then killed himself, as we were told. No action by the Las Vegas Metro Police ever ceased Paddock's firing as he was slaughtering people unimpeded for over 10 minutes. Paddock didn't take his own life because police officers were at his door, as Lombardo reportedly said. Then, according to the article, Lombardo described the murder of 60 people as a, quote, one-off event. I'm sure that comment is very comforting to the survivors and the family members of those who were murdered at the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival. The article goes on with Lombardo's comments that he was proud of his department's response because the timeliness prevented further carnage and that Paddock could have continued his carnage for quite some time. Lombardo apparently had a memory lapse because the carnage did continue for some time as Las Vegas Metro Police Field Training Officer Cordell Hendricks failed to take any action, or even attempted to take any action to cease the threat, as people were being slaughtered as he retreated on the 31st floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel. In addition to that, Lombardo, who said on 8 News Now Las Vegas, 1 month after the massacre, that the police made entry into Paddock's room because they didn't want to give Paddock the opportunity to reload and or continue firing. The problem with that lie, as I previously said, is that nobody entered Paddock's room until well over 1 hour. So now with Lombardo's revelation that Paddock didn't shoot himself until the entry team was at his door trying to get in at 11:20 p.m., over 1 hour after the last shots were fired, then that further corroborates Lombardo's lie that they wanted to go in to stop him from reloading. So if they believed he was alive for well over an hour, why wasn't entry made sooner? Lombardo is a liar, just like his then undersheriff Kevin McMahill, who is currently a candidate for Clark County Sheriff, and who lied on Fox News about when Paddock's gunfire stopped, as I reported in episode 80. Lombardo and McMahill are 2 peas in the same corrupt, incompetent pod. Folks, the Las Vegas Metro Police didn't even have a mass casualty plan in place prior to the Las Vegas Massacre. No SWAT officers / counter snipers were deployed during the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival, even though, as I exclusively reported, an LVMPD and FBI training scenario years before the massacre made it clear that a sniper attack from a hotel high-rise tower posed a threat. I will have the link to the November 2021 Nevada Appeal article in the description section of this video. More exclusive stories forthcoming about the Las Vegas Massacre that Lombardo and McMahill made sure would never hit the public domain. The unsolved 2016 Las Vegas Land Kaufman double homicide, former disgraced Las Vegas Justice Court Judge Melanie Andrus Tobiasen, plus much more for 2022. Lombardo and McMahill have blocked me from posting the links to my episodes on their Facebook pages, but that will not deter me from continuing to expose their lies, cover-ups, and incompetence. I have been told that Lombardo ordered his public information office not to respond to any of my media requests for comment. Nothing like transparency under Sheriff Joe Lombardo. Once again, I am publicly requesting an on-the-record recorded interview with both Lombardo and McMahill. Let's see if they are man enough to respond or continue to cower. Thanks for listening, folks, and remember to hit the red subscribe button.